Yeah, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. Okay. What are we doing with Deshaun Watson? I'm buying Deshaun Watson. There we go. Was that fun?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy him too. So move on. Let's go. Okay, no, but
okay.
for real,
Look, for real, this is pretty simple. Okay, Deshaun Watson. First of all, he's very young. He's only 27 years old, so there's no risk of any physical issues. I heard, I can't remember who made this comparison before. So I apologize. I want to say it was either Eric Beimfohr or Ben Gretsch, but can't remember which one, and might even be neither of them. They made a comparison to Tiger Woods when he came back after his marital scandal. And there was no like physical reason why he shouldn't have been as good at golf. He didn't have a major injury. That all came later. But he just wasn't as good at golf for a little while. And then eventually he was basically as good as golf, as good at golf again. And I think that's possibly a thing with Deshaun Watson. Like, he might just need some time to get his swagger back. He needs to get time to get accustomed to the offense. Look, I think he's a reprehensible human being. If you're telling me that you don't want to roster him in Dynasty because of that, I get it. Everybody plays Dynasty, Fantasy, whatever else with their own particular code. But in terms of the question of whether he'll be good at football again, yeah, I think he's going to be good at football again. He was very, very good at the Texans the entirety of his career with them. He's still very young. I fully anticipate that he will get back to being an excellent football player with the Cleveland Browns. And I would be valuing him significantly above his current market value. I talk pretty frequently to people who are wondering if we're ever going to get Deshaun Watson back. I think he's going to be very available over the offseason. And I think that he is one of the very few quarterbacks who gives you the opportunity for 5 to 10 years of locked-in QB1 production, who's not going to be going in the first round of Superflex drafts and isn't recovering from a torn ACL. So, I mean, I think Deshaun is just a tremendous, tremendous buy.
Yeah, I think like Deshaun Watson came into the NFL. He tore his ACL after like 4 games. He was incredible in his first 4 games as a rookie. He scored 24.7 fantasy points per game in his first 7 games, not 4.
Yeah.
And then he came back from a torn ACL and put up 21.3 fantasy points per game coming off a torn ACL. And then he scored 22 fantasy points per game. Then he scored 23.5 fantasy points per game. And then he sat out a year, and then he got suspended, and now here we are. So we're talking about a player who's literally never scored less than 21.3 fantasy points per game in any given year of his entire career up until now. He's not old. He's got a lot of off-field stuff going on that's, reprehensible would be an excellent word to describe it. But at some point, he's probably going to be back to normal on the field. And I want him on my team because I like to win fantasy championships. If you don't want to roster him, I understand. But if you just want to roster the best players, regardless of off-field concerns or morality or whatever you want to call it, then I think he's a pretty good buy. He's currently number 20 on Fantasy Calc in Dynasty Startups, which puts him after guys like CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and just ahead of Breece Hall, Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa.
And I think he should be a first-round startup pick. I think he's undervalued by over a full round.
Yeah. I think he should probably be about maybe like 6 or 7, honestly.
I agree.
I don't think he should be at the back of the first round either. He should be at the middle of the first round. So I guess that's a pretty glowing review from both of us in terms of we should probably be going out to buy Deshaun Watson.
We're buying Mr. Watson for sure. Another person that I want to talk to.
Hold on, one other thing. We have to also keep in mind that Jonah Hill is still pulling the strings in Cleveland, so they are a pass-happy offense. So keep that in mind. We want Deshaun Watson.